Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Arifah Salwa Nafirah from ESP Class G with student number A3202300058. And today, through this video, I'm going to present my individual assignment in summarizing previous studies on ESP need analysis. And in this presentation, I will explain 10 previous studies that analyze English for specific purposes or ESP in various fields such as hotel management, nursing, marketing, etc. And let's start with the first article. Okay, so the first article is arranged by Lamia El Mekta in 2022 from Algeria. The title is The title is Needs Analysis and ESP Course Design, a case study of the Institute of Nutrition, Food and Agri-Food Technologies. In this study, used a descriptive qualitative approach involving 12 doctoral students and 10 subject teachers from INATA in Algeria. 2 questionnaires were distributed to gather data, and the purpose of the research is to analyze the English need of master's student and improve ESP course design. And the result revealed that students had difficulties with text comprehension, technical vocabulary, writing, and speaking. Both students and teachers held positive attitudes toward ESP courses, but felt that the course time was insufficient. They also suggested focusing more on productive skills like speaking and writing, pronunciation, and scientific vocabulary. Suggested improvement included extending English course hours, using scientific articles, giving oral presentation, and organizing English clubs. Then, the second article is arranged by Medanit Belacu in 2020 from Ethiopia. So the title is A Need Analysis of ESP in Textile Engineering Provision in Ethiopia. This was a mixed method study conducted among 156 workers from 6 textile companies and 8 companies representative interviewed. Data were collected using questionnaires and interviews, analyzed both descriptively and qualitatively. The main aims was to identify the English language needs of employees in textile industries and provide input for ESP course design for engineering students. The findings indicate that English is essential for communication in emails, phone calls, meetings, and reports, especially with international partners. The most important skill were speaking, writing, and reading, while listening was also significant. Workers faced difficulties in writing reports, understanding technical vocabulary, and using English in formal communication. Then, the third research was arranged by Alfian Azhar Yamin in 2021 from Indonesia, especially from Bandung. The title is Needs Analysis on English Language Used by Hotel Staff in Bandung. The study employed a quantitative approach with 27 hotel staff participants, and the data were collected through a questionnaire distributed online, like via Google Form, email, and WhatsApp. Due to the pandemic, the aim was to analyze hotel staff's English language need to develop an ESP syllabus for hotel management students. The results showed that 80% of respondents considered English very important for their work. The most required skills was speaking, followed by listening, writing, and reading. Common difficulties included nervousness when speaking, lack of vocabulary, and difficulty understanding foreign accent. Staff suggested that future ESP training should include more conversation practice, problem-solving situation, and vocabulary building related to hotel service. The next article was arranged by Yuyut Triguntoro in 2021 from Indonesia. The title is ESP Course Design for Indonesian Hotel Industry, Need Analysis. This qualitative study involved 3 front desk staff and 1 hotel manager from Kapal Garden Hotel in Malang, and the data were collected using structured interviews and participant observations. The purpose was to identify staff's lacks, wants, and necessities in using English and to design an effective ESP course. The results indicate that the main lacks were limited vocabulary and difficulty understanding foreign accent. English was essential for check-in or check-out procedures, giving directions, explaining facilities, and handling payments. The staff wanted to improve their pronunciation and fluency, while the manager emphasized the need for clear pronunciation to enhance the hotel image. They expected the ISP course to include weekly focusing on speaking, listening, and pronunciation practice. The next research was arranged by Fajar Yantika, Robi Yuli Endra, Teresa Afruli, and Ayu Kartika Puspa in 2020 from Indonesia. The title is Needs Analysis of English for Specific Purposes at Food and Beverage Emersia Hotel Bandar Lampung. This was a qualitative descriptive study with 5 senior staff members that consists of 3 males and 2 females from the food and beverage department. Data were collected through semi-structured interviews conducted in Bahasa Indonesia. The study aimed to identify the English language needs of food and beverage staff. The findings showed that speaking and listening were the most crucial skills because staff must create requests, take orders, handle billing, and manage complaints. Their major problems included difficulty understanding foreign accents, limited vocabulary, and dependence on body language. They wanted more practical training focusing on pronunciation and listening comprehension to avoid miscommunication with guests. The next article was arranged by Elodie Dian Hidayat in 2024 from Indonesia. The title is ASP Need Analysis for Marketing Students in an Indonesian Vocational Schools, Insight from Strategy Analysis. This mixed method study involved 50 marketing students from SMKN 1 Bone. A questionnaire was used to collect data, which were analyzed using descriptive statistics and qualitative interpretation. The aim was to identify students' ASP needs, preferred learning materials, method, and motivations. Findings showed that the most preferred materials were product management and marketing strategy. Students like group work that consists of 80%, individual tasks consists of 72%, and whole class activities consist of 68%. Their main motivation for learning English were to communicate fluently, consists of 90%, develop professionally, consists of 52%, and increase job opportunities, consists of 50%. So the most important sub-skills was reading, followed by speaking, listening, and writing. The next research was arranged by Yuriatsan Jubhari, Rosmiati, and Nurlia in 2022 from Indonesia. The title is Needs Analysis in English for Specific Purposes for Nursing Students from Polytechnic Sandikarsa, Makassar. This quantitative study involved 36 nursing students, 2 ASP English lecturers, 1 nursing lecturer with overseas experience, and several stakeholders. The data were gathered through a questionnaire adapted from Hutchinson and Waters in 1987 and Dudley Evans and St. John in 1998. The goal was to identify English language needs for developing ASP materials and syllabus for nursing students. Results showed that the most students had moderate English proficiency, with reading as their strongest skills that consists of 52.77%. Key sub-skills included reading work schedules, understanding contract, listening to instruction, and explaining medical procedures. All 16 proposed ESP topics were rated highly relevant by both students and teachers. Then the next research was arranged by Budi Eko Pranoto and Suprayogi in 2020 from Indonesia. The title is A Need Analysis of ESP for Physical Education Students in Indonesia. The study used a mixed method design with 50 physical education students and 10 lecturers from 2 universities, Teknokrat and Lampung. Data collection included an online questionnaire and lecture interviews. The aim was to identify English needs and suitable ESP topics for physical education students. The findings showed that students' English proficiency was generally weak, especially in speaking, listening, and pronunciation, while reading and writing were rated as good. Desired professions included teacher, sport journalist, athlete, referee, and coach. The most needed ESP topic were English for teaching instructions, sport journalism, coaching communication, and anatomy vocabulary. Lecturers emphasized speaking and writing skills to support global competitiveness. The next research was conducted by Muhammad Ali Akbari and Mohnas Bagayeri in 2014 from Iran. The title is A Needs Analysis Approach to ESP Design in Iranian Context. This quantitative research surveyed 49 architecture students and 72 architecture graduates from different Iranian universities. 2 modified questionnaires and interview with instructors were used analyzed with SPSS and Chi-square test. The study aimed to identify specific English language need of architecture students and assess the effectiveness of ESP course in Iran. Results showed that reading comprehension was the most important skills, followed by writing, speaking, and listening. Many participants felt that ESP courses were ineffective due to poor syllabus design, inadequate course length, and lack of collaboration between language and architecture departments. Students wanted earlier and more frequent ESP instruction to improve professional skills. And the last article was arranged by Qin-Ling Li in 2016 from Taiwan. The title is Principles and Practices of ESP Course Design, a case study of a University of Science and Technology. This quantitative study included 257 students, both English and non-English majors. A questionnaire adapted from Berlin in 2010 was distributed using a 6-point Likert scale. The research aimed to investigate students' perceived English need and how they differ based on gender, major, proficiency, and career goals. The result showed that over 80% of students believed that the ESP courses were useful for their future careers. The most needed skills was listening, with mean 4.27, followed by writing, reading, and speaking. Students with high proficiency showed stronger motivation, and there was no significant gender difference in perceived needs. Overall, students viewed all 4 skills as interconnected and important for professional success. So that's all the summarizing from the 10 previous studies in ESP, and that's all. Thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.